Okay, so we are here, 2025, starting off really good with exploring. So I'm gonna see if I can swim underneath the floating rock, like the really floating one. Mate, it is a workout to get down here. Holy crap. But it's nice. I saw a jet ski before, just along here. Welcome back. In case you didn't know, I started exploring parts of Ryback Beach to fulfill my quest, I say. It ended off early December, but I am now back at it again. This day was supreme with the swell only 0.7 meters, therefore more clear water. But before I showed the journey, I went to the Dragon's Head first once again, which was when I realised the water clarity and knew this was going to be a very good day of filming. All the while I discovered the seaweed bleaching from the hot sun, which causes it to lose natural pigments, hence why it is all white. However, in the previous exploring video, which was in December, the seaweed was its natural brown and red colours. This indicates that a period of low tides exposed the rocks a lot more. This screenshot I took while editing is the next period of low tides in February. But out of everything, I'd say the seaweed was the main highlight of this day trip.
See that? How broken that is. And this is a tough seaweed, yeah? But it's broken. All broken up. All really broken. And then there would be the same.
No colours today, man. The seaweed's all white.
There's a bit more colours on this exact same rock in the December video.
A bit of the rock just broke off. Or is that coral? Might be a bit of the rock. It's the one dangling up there. And if you look closely, you can see it is also actually floating all there too. I just had to check that out. I'm gonna go to the very edge. Last time I said this spot was a walk of death.
And this is the very edge I wanted to set foot near in the previous video too. Even when there isn't a single wave, it's still a slow process to navigate all the holes and trenches. And underwater, it's a whole seaweed ecosystem. It's crazy to think if you were here during winter when it's wavy and rough, you could never imagine it to be like this.
Literal cave. Wow. Water cave.
Then I nervously hopped in. Even though not the best cinematic filming, with my GoPro you can still see the water surge, especially when you watch the seaweed. Sometimes condensation builds up in the lens, which gives the foggy look.
Wow, man. The bathtub effect. Underwater view of the bathtub effect. You can see the seaweed, it goes zoop to the middle here.
Then as the wave reaches the rock, reflection occurs and the wave travels back out and towards me.
that smell again from when I first ever witnessed a tide like this. That seaweed drying smell. It smells like a kind of fuel. That's what it is.
If you go to places that have lots of seaweed, you know it's a rare low tide when the kelp is completely out of the water.
Even the kelp is literally drying. Kelp is drying, all drying out.
Speaking of low tides, this day was around 0.4, and the screenshot I just showed had tides as low as 0.2, and in March it gets even lower than that.
Wow, look how thin that is, man. Check that out. That's thin, broken, all broken up. And then this is all cooking in the sun. This is one of the thickest ones. I noticed this, so I just wanted to show you this. Wow, another area where it just goes in. That's a big one right there.
The actual texture of this seaweed is so smooth, yet the strength is as tough as trying to tear a bendable plastic sheet.
Look at this thick thing, man. Look how thick that is. It's thick.
Even a knife wouldn't cut through. You'll need proper tools to farm this kind of seaweed.
Got a triple.
And especially the holdfast, or I like to call the stem, is like trying to pull a rope. You'll need more than just strong gym muscles for that.
So I've just left my stuff on this rock, and this kind of reminds me of a little spot that has the rock similarly out like this. Now all of this area has rocks that kind of separate into smaller bits further out, and it also reminds me of a spot that I've been obviously before. It's called Jubilee Point, and it has a similar area, and it's also got that main rock in the middle that I've captured water going right over the top of it. So I'm gonna assume here it does very similar, I reckon, which is scary to think. Again, all baking in the sun. Here, this is a dangerous area. It sucks through that hole there. You can't see it. See how it's rising up and it's making that bubble. It makes that bubble because water is coming through. This is probably the biggest one I've seen. There's a lot around here actually. There's like a hole in the rock, and it's around, the hole is through this arch, this little bridge, and it's like an arch, and I think that's that. See how there's like a circle in there? I think that rock is the hole, and it must go in through, and as the wave comes, it rises up. Look at that.
If you search up Kiama blowhole or Ukelele blowhole, you'll see videos that explain how this works exactly. I will make my own video someday about this. And as mentioned, the further out you stood, the more rugged the rocks get. Very rugged.
I saw this at Point Lonsdale, and what this is the seaweed being baked by the sun, and it's, yeah, being baked by the sun. I don't exactly know what's happening, but that's what that phenomenon is.
You can see the direction of the powerful water has dragged the seaweed with it.
Fishy in there.
And this V-shape looks very peculiar. You'll find out in the near future video. And this heart shape is Mother Nature showing a bit of love. Yeah, anyway, I don't think us humans are doing the same.
Should I walk across all this? Let's go for it. Go next to the stems, because you know there's no hole where the stem is. These jagged rocks here all kind of serve as like a little barrier to here, and you can tell that it hasn't really been touched by the waves, and even then there's even sand there. Do you reckon you can climb up there? No, it looks a bit steep. Yeah, see, it's all sandstone, so the waves aren't able to get it because of these rocks being a barrier. Ooh, that seaweed is not happy.
I take the lens off for more clearer shots and forgot to put it back on. For some reason, without it, underwater filming becomes a bit blurry. But right next to me was sitting the largest holdfast I've seen yet.
One of the fattest ones. Oh shit, I just realized I put this in the water without.
Then continuing, I walked along the beach and then to my last rock platform sticking out. There was a couple of interesting rock formations I kept in, but it was generally most the same.
Circle kind of checkered pattern.
Towards the end of this part, I noticed the rocks were a lot more lower, and I think that is the best breeding ground for the kelp. Emphasis on the best. Definitely the best.
Not miles, but far out. I think when the waves surge up into the water mountain thingies that I say and go really strong, I'd love to get a bird's eye view when the water's clear, of course, love to get a nice bird's eye view of how the seaweed goes back and forth. And it would be cool from here to stand.
I decided to give it a name. I call it the Seaweed Sanctuary.
Wow, man. And here, not only does this section of the rock that's out here feel a little bit more lower, especially to the edge. You can see how it's just steadily going in the water. And I think that's some areas that the bull carp normally grows near. Oh shit, so it's hiding, not really, but it would be hiding that rock pool.
I am dying to know what it's like here during high rough waters, but this is where I stop for the day.
So in there, you can see it's kind of a little sandy, and then at the back, you can see people. So I think there's a car park very close to here. But unfortunately, I have the keys, and the car is all the way back down there, so I've got to walk all the way back. Potholes everywhere. Everywhere. Pothole, pothole, pothole. I guess we'll just mark it as the bull carp sanctuary. But yeah, here marks the spot. But we have to get up to wherever we come from. Either walk all the way that way to here next time, or travel from that direction and come here. Let's get our stuff. I saw cops thinking, uh-oh, something dangerous in the water, but nah. Alright, so we're at Pearses Beach on a windy day. Interesting, so I'm gonna go this direction towards the area where I left off, but today it is very wavy.
Then next weekend I knew a car park I haven't been to yet, which led to Pearses Beach. More secluded to my liking and was way more rocky than anticipated.
So this is a completely new spot. Honestly, it's very stunning. It's just rocks everywhere. I was expecting it to be more of a sandy beach, but it's just rocks, really.
With the swell above a meter, I still went close to the edges, but this time I had to time it right. Here's a different kind of blowhole, more like the ones on YouTube I was talking about. And here is one of those trench kinda like areas.
Look how thick this one here is, man. Look at that. It's a big bit of seaweed, man. It's big. Look at that, man.
I also noticed some of the seaweed on the rock partially regained their brown colour, or possibly regrown. As to how that's happened, well, that goes over my head. Yeah, the edge was as usual a bit choppy and troughy.
seaweed broken up, that's how you know it gets better in the bush.
When I say beat around the bush, I mean dragging and scraping all over the rocks because of the water surge. And this part of the rock looked so dangerous to stand on, I was watching my back every 5 seconds.
I don't know if that's completely hollow, but oh my god, that is another area where it's just floating rock.
This wave looks like it's about to end me. But no, very deceiving. And this part here I'll cross over in the next video.
This rock here, even on the top there, it's still very eroded. And then you can see again the example of how the water goes underneath it and it's cracking it underneath it.
But going back this way, there were more boulders in the middle with the jagged rocks towards the edge.
This rock's a lot more bigger, but the rock pool there goes straight under it. Definitely reckon it'll be scary swimming under that.
I did guess that this rock would be a popular fishing joint because of the deep rock pool below it. Some more mini waterfalls here, similar to the Dragon's Head. I should have put the GoPro in the water here to display the sharp rocks up close, but then the sound does get muffled, producing bad audio.
Nice and sharp. Nice and sharp. Look at that.
And here I've found an impact zone. Yuck.
So up here, you can see how these rocks here protect that. Therefore, that's able to keep sandy sandstone. And all these are falling over time. Weather erosion. We are pretty much at the spot now where I call it bull kelp sanctuary. I called it last time. I can see the other rock that I put my stuff on in the distance, and I just saw water shoot up, and I think I know where exactly it was. Water shoot up like, and there was someone behind it, and they looked minuscule. If I had a camera that could capture that, that would have been one of the sickest photos. But there was someone, I don't think it was close to it.
Anyway, near or far future, I will invest in a quality zoomed camera and also break out of the silly habit of pointing. I always forget I have arrows in editing.
Sandstone rock, and you can see how it's all come off. We've officially connected points from the last day, and no, I'm not going to just never come here again now. I'm going to come here on a nice day and go for another walk at Pearses Beach.
And the white water must be very powerful through here too if the rocks are rugged this far in. Closing remarks for this video is that I struggled once again to keep it shorter.
Apart from all that rough and tough over there, there's some pretty hidden spots through here, man.
And if I had to choose, this would be the best area to set up camp.
Because the water is coming through here really strong. Just here, like being stuck here.
Nevertheless, I'll see you at Bridgewater Bay. That's all folks, thanks for watching.